So, we just got a trade in the NBA. It's a minor trade, but still a deal that could have some ramifications in the future between two teams that are headed for the lottery this year, but are definitely rebuilding and building for the future. So, the Oklahoma City Thunder is trading guard Hamidou Diallo to the Detroit Pistons for forward Mykhailiuk and a 2027 second round pick. So my first reaction to this trade is that the Thunder got robbed here. Diallo can definitely be a good NBA player. He is a good NBA player. Someone who could contribute to a winning team. And Mykhailiuk is, he's still not terrible, but he's sort of a shooter who's shooting 33% from three this year. So I don't know about the value in that. So Diallo this season is averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists in only 24 minutes a game. And he's a very good defender, very athletic, very quick, can stay in front of defenders, can close out to shooters. He's won a dunk contest. And then offensively, he's the type of player when he can get downhill and finish at the rim, and that's one of his strengths. And the Pistons can definitely use that. He's still quite raw and a bit of a project, but the Pistons are collecting young players like him and Sekou Doumbouya and Killian Hayes. So I think Diallo can definitely be a good player for them down the line. Both players, Mykhailiuk and Diallo, are on the same contract, which is like $1.6 million this year, and then they're both restricted free agents next year. So they're gonna have to re-sign him, and I think they should, because I think projecting down the line, he can be definitely a good backup. I don't ever see him being really a key starter, just because if you can't shoot in the NBA, it's rough. And this season, he's shooting less than 30% from three on less than 1.5 attempts a game. So he's just not a shooter. That's just not his game. But he's definitely someone who can contribute with his defense and his rebounding, and getting to the rim offensively can definitely help the Pistons out in the future. So I think the Pistons are getting the better player in the deal, that's for sure. As for Spee, this season he's averaging about 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Last year he shot 41%. Last year he shot 40% from three on 5.1 attempts a game, but this year on 5 attempts he's shooting 33%. So that's certainly a drop off. And his game apart from that is not great, to be honest. Granted, I haven't watched every minute of Mykhailiuk, but he's not a great defender. He was getting torched by Terry Rozier last night, so that's pretty rough. But there are signs that maybe he could be a 3-and-D guy down the line. If there's definitely he's shown potential as a shooter. He's 6'7". He could be a decent backup small forward, someone who could come off the bench as a shooter for the Thunder in the future. But in all likelihood, they probably just won't re-sign him, and they did the deal for the 2027 second round pick, which is from Houston, which it could. I don't know how good Houston will be in 2027, to be honest. But that pick is going to be after pick 30, that's for sure. And is it worth giving up Diallo for that? I don't think so. But if we think about why the Thunder did it, because I think it's more clear why the Pistons did it, because Diallo is the better player, quite clearly, and he can help them out in the future potentially, and they can re-sign him. And the first thing would be they don't want to pay Diallo this offseason. However much he's gonna make, it's maybe more than they want to pay him, and then they don't see him as a guy in the future for them. They obviously have Lou Dort, who's a great defender and sort of a shaky shooter, though he has been much, much better this season shooting. But that's really sort of like the guy they want to build around with as a complementary piece to Shea, and they don't see Diallo in that light. Another thing is that he's not a shooter, which I've mentioned, so he's sort of less scalable and maybe is more restricted to being a backup in the future, and they'd rather have that future second round pick. And then the last thing is that Diallo might be helping them to win too many games. They obviously, at the start of the season, it looked like they'd be a lottery team, and they still look like that, but they're not the worst team in the league. They're far from it. They have players like Shea and Horford who are helping them win games, but Diallo is also helping them win games, and maybe they're just a bit too good for their liking. So moving on, Diallo, they are getting a future second-round pick, and we'll have to see what they do before the trade deadline, whether Horford gets moved or they move some other players in an attempt to get more picks and to worsen their record. So we'll have to see with that one, because it does look like they're going to be tanking, and they do have their own picks and quite a few picks from other teams in the future. So we'll see with that one. Bit of a confusing move though for the Thunder, but definitely a good pickup for the Pistons, getting Diallo, someone who can contribute for them in the future. But anyways, that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys next time.